Picture this. You're in labor. The midwife leans over and calmly says, "Your baby needs help now." In that instant, the color-coded birth plan on the bedside table feels about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Mom and baby are both going to be fine, yet the new mother is sobbing, "I failed." Here's the thing. That emotional gut punch isn't rare, and it has very real mental health ripples. Today we're exploring how the modern pressure to give birth naturally can wound harder than the forceps, stitches, or scalpel ever could. First, let's look at where the dream comes from. Online feeds are packed with slow-mo water births, candles, and women who appear to breathe babies out in total silence. In NCT classes, people swap essential oil blends and manifestation scripts. Someone jokes that asking for an epidural is failing the assignment. Nobody laughs for long. Real-life edits follow. One mom hides her emergency cesarean scar on Instagram, posting only a close-up of her baby's hand. Another begs her midwife not to write high risk in her notes because the label makes her feel broken. These tiny choices shape what counts, at least in our minds, as a good birth. Antenatal courses and TikTok rarely show a cord prolapse, a baby's heart rate dipping, or an induction that fizzles out. Instead, they spotlight women who trusted their bodies, as though drips, monitors, or pain relief appear only when you've done something wrong. One first-time mom felt talked out of an epidural. Another delayed going to hospital because she didn't want interventions pushed on her. Let that sink in for a second. Both later wondered if their hesitation caused the very emergencies that followed. Now, here's the key point. Research from the University of Reading shows it's the meaning we attach to events that drives distress, not simply the events themselves. Women who walked away with surgery, stitches, or forceps but kept flexible expectations think, "I'd love things to unfold gently, but plans can change," reported less trauma than women whose births looked straightforward on paper, yet felt like personal defeat. Translation? A change in mindset can be more protective than a textbook labor. Social media turns that mindset up to 11. A Welsh mum, doom-scrolling hypnobirthing clips during night feeds, muted friends because every candlelit pool made her flinch. She loved their births for them, but hated what they seemed to say about hers. Quietly, she edited her own story to fit in. Healthcare spaces sometimes echo the same hierarchy. Spontaneous vaginal at the top, everything else somewhere lower. A student midwife remembers a patient apologizing, "I'm sorry, I couldn't do it properly," as she signed consent for theater. No one had used the word properly, but the ranking was crystal clear in her mind. The good news? Tweaking the script helps. When staff say, "There isn't a right way to have a baby, only a safe way for you and this baby today," women are far less likely to label themselves failures. Some services are baking this wording into classes and leaflets, not to crush hope, but to widen the definition of success. One Manchester mum rehearsed affirmations about breathing her baby out. When labor stalled and she ended up in theater, no staff member blamed her. She still replayed the early hours for weeks, hunting for the second she'd lost focus. Contrast that with the couple who wrote two parallel plans, What We'd Love and What Might Help If Things Change. Their twins appeared early. Music, skin to skin, and cutting the cord were still on the menu. The mum later described the day as busy and medical, but still ours. Outside the hospital, wording matters too. Friends who asked, "How are you feeling about the birth now?" instead of, "At least the baby's healthy," created space for mixed emotions without implying ingratitude. Sometimes that single question is the lifeline. So, if you're expecting or you love someone who is, remember this. Flexible expectations plus self-compassion softens the blow when birth swerves off script. And struggling afterwards isn't rare or weak. Roughly 1 in 10 new mothers experiences significant low mood. For partners, friends, educators, and staff, the cultural shift we need is from natural is best to safe and supported is best. Think about it. 2 women can have identical medical notes yet carry totally different emotional scars. Often, it's the invisible pressure, not the forceps, that cuts deepest. One question to sit with. When you picture a good mother, whose voice are you hearing? Next, where have you quietly absorbed the formula, good mother equals natural birth, no meds, exclusive breastfeeding? And how is that story shaping your self-talk right now? Finally, if your best friend had the same interventions or feeding challenges you did, what compassion would you offer her? And what's stopping you from offering it to yourself? If your thoughts feel heavy or stuck, reach out. The Birth Trauma Association, your local perinatal mental health team, these aren't last resorts. They're part of the safety net. So here's what we covered today. The glossy, natural birth ideal floods social media but rarely shows complications. It's not the stitches or surgery that predict distress. It's the story you tell yourself about them. Flexible two-track birth plans and kinder language from friends and staff can protect mental health. 1 in 10 new moms battle serious low mood, and support is out there. No gold star for doing it alone. Your takeaway? Rewrite the script. Celebrate safe, supported births in all their messy forms. Unfollow any feed that grades mothers by how they deliver. And the next time someone tells you they had an induction, a cesarean, or an epidural, try this on for size. That sounds like a courageous day. How are you feeling about it now? Because a healthy mom with a healthy baby and a mind at peace with how both got there is the real gold standard. Let that settle for a moment. I'm great. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again next week.